Picture this. It's launch night, you've waited months to play, and finally the title screen fades in. Then, bam! A pop-up flashes, special offer, a discount. If you pay now, an XP boost in a single-player campaign, a shiny skin you've never seen, each temptation timed perfectly to catch you in that euphoric haze when logic sleeps and the wallet wakes. Gaming was once about beating the end boss. Now, the real villain often greets you in the Store tab. Tonight, we're tracing the long, winding trail of cash from innocent horse armor to $48,000 virtual spaceships and everything in between. Some of these stories are legendary, others slipped under the radar, but each one exposes a new tactic in the never-ending war on your bank account. Ready for the gauntlet? Let's dive, because greed has more forms than any final boss you faced, and every chapter gets wilder than the last. Number 1. When just one more match costs real money. Metal Gear Solid V gave us tactical freedom and photoreal sunsets, and then charged silent ransom on our resources. Leave for work, and rival players can raid your forward operating base while you're offline, siphoning soldiers and supplies you spent hours recruiting. Insurance tokens promise safety, but they're sold in bundles that quietly outprice the game itself. Yes, you can grind the daily login bonus, but by day 4, most commanders decide Big Boss's time is more precious than $10.
Capcom took a more surgical approach in Resident Evil Village. Fans long begged for the classic third-person camera. Capcom finally delivered, inside a paid DLC. For a franchise that basically invented over-the-shoulder horror, forcing veterans to cough up cash just to play in the perspective they grew up with felt like paying for air in a haunted house. Meanwhile, fighters who entered the King of Iron Fist tournament bumped into a $3 gate just to read their own move lists. Tekken 7's Frame Data DLC offended pros and casuals alike. Knowing whether a jab is +2 or -4 became a paid privilege. But no wallet drain matches the mobile mammoth Diablo Immortal, where early calculations showed it could cost over $100,000. Some claim $500,000 to fully max a single character's legendary gems. One streamer who spent 6 figures became so overpowered, the matchmaking system literally couldn't find opponents. A whale stranded in a digital ocean of its own making.
And remember Pokemon Unite? Upgrading a single held item to level 30 requires thousands of enhancers, most efficiently purchased with real cash. An adorable MOBA that turns Pikachu into a pickpocket. Hooked yet? Keep that credit card handy. The price tags are about to spike. Number 2. Sticker shock. The new 70, 80, and quadruple A era. For decades, $60 was sacred. Nintendo smashed the ceiling with The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom at $70, framing it as the premium cost of quality. Ubisoft saw an opening and declared its long-troubled Skull and Bones a full-priced quadruple A experience, even as critics wondered if the open seas were still half-baked. Suddenly, 70 felt standard, and murmurs of 80 crept in.
When anxious fans asked the Gearbox CEO whether Borderlands 4 might jump to 80, his reply was ice cold. If you're a real fan, you'll find a way. Gamers had flashbacks to minimum wage summers stretching for cartridges that cost half their paycheck. Proof that nostalgia is priceless, unless you're putting it on a shelf. Early access perks evolved into mini class divides. Hogwarts Legacy dangled 72 hours of extra wand waving behind its deluxe edition. Streamers paid gladly. Platforms were flooded with spoilers 3 days before standard buyers even crossed platform 9B3/4. Pay up or stay off social media. Collector's editions promised complete experiences until they didn't. Persona 3 Reload shipped a lavish box at $200, then, 1 month later, announced a paid expansion pass containing content fans assumed was already inside. Meanwhile, Helldivers 2 split its Warbond battle passes in half, 2 sets of premium gear priced to equal 2 full Warbonds, provoking a community revolt strong enough to force the devs to slow their release cadence. Even discounts got monetized. In Tales of Arise, the premium travel pack costs real money, yet merely resets in-game shop prices to something reasonable. Imagine a grocery store selling you a membership just to stop overcharging on milk. If the base price didn't break you, the next section's cosmetic carousel might.
Number 3, skins, gacha, and the $48,000 spaceship cosmetics were supposed to be harmless vanity until publishers realized vanity sells better than oxygen. Case in point, Multiversus' crossover skin putting Arya Stark in a Jason Voorhees hockey mask for $30, roughly $1 per second of novelty before the meme wore off. But 30 looks quaint next to Riot's Sanctum event in League of Legends. Ultra-rare Arcane Fracture Jinx sits at 0.5% pull odds and only guarantees after 80 opens. Some fans burned over $250 and still felt lucky compared to gacha horror stories in other regions. Riot's fix? Make pop-ups less intrusive, because apparently what hurt most was the reminder, not the bill. On the far edge of the galaxy sits Star Citizen's Legatus Pack, a fleet of ships and trinkets priced at $27,000 in 2018 and ballooning to $48,000 for the 2953 edition. That's a down payment on a very real house for a game that, as of 2025, still doesn't have a release date. Not to be outdone, Overwatch 2 sold a tiny weapon charm for $7, $10 if you count the Force bundle sizes, while Blizzard's own physical keychain version of the same trinket retails for $5. Yes, the plastic you can jingle in your hand is cheaper than the pixels. Destiny 2's Eververse shop keeps pace. Crossover armor sets clock in at $1,500 silver, about $15 per class. Complete the trio for $45, and you still haven't bought the season pass that makes half the guns worth grinding. And if you crave true gambling, Konami's Soccer Sim eFootball replaced one-time purchases with randomized player drops, teaching diehards that Lionel Messi might cost $0 or several hundred depending on luck and patience. Enough wardrobe changes. Time to examine broken promises that hit harder than any loot box.
Number 4. Betrayal patches, backtracks, and a $20,000 save game. Few gut punches sting like a promise reneged. Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled launched with the developers assuring no microtransactions. Reviews praised the grind-to-earn model. 3 weeks later, Activision patched in a cash store. Trust vaporized faster than a turbo boost. Disney Speedstorm initially let racers unlock premium Battle Pass tiers via in-game coins. Months later, poof. Grind option removed, credit card required. Early adopters cried foul, review bombed, and Disney faced refund petitions from fans who felt Mickey had straight up pickpocketed them. Unity's 2023 runtime fee announcement blindsided indie studios. Once a game cleared 200,000 installs, it owed 20 cents per additional download, even retroactively. Devs threatened to pull games, storefronts seethed, and within weeks, the policy was gutted and the CEO exited stage left. Sometimes, the boss fight ends with the boss deleting itself. Live service shooters aren't innocent either. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 resurrected zombies' grief but layered in purchasable gobblegums, pay-to-win sugar highs that let deep-pocket squads outlast everyone. The mode, once revered for skill, became a vending machine. Oh, and Metal Gear Survive? $10 for a second character slot. Want to experiment with a new build? That'll be more than some indie games cost in their entirety. Greed doesn't always hide behind cosmetics. It can poison the foundation of play itself, as our next gallery of horrors shows.
Number 5. Ideas so toxic, they became cautionary legends.
In 2011, an EA executive publicly mused about charging $1 to reload your gun mid-match in Battlefield. The plan never materialized, but the quote survives in marketing textbooks under How to Unite a Fanbase Against You. Irony twist, the same exec later spearheaded Unity's runtime fiasco. Koei Tecmo's Dead or Alive offers season passes at $92 each, with only 2 fighters plus costumes. They release multiple passes per year. Buying them all costs more than the console you're playing on, yet collectors keep stepping into the ring. Blizzard's Pet Sim Paradise went equine with The Sims 4 Horse Ranch at $40, only for players to discover the horses did less than cats and dogs from a previous cheaper DLC. Fans joked they were paying stable fees on top of the usual micro-rent. Rockstar birthed the age of digital high finance when it launched Shark Cards in GTA Online, months before heists existed. Back then there was no efficient grind, turning the cash store into the only highway to a luxury apartment or armored Kuruma. Today, Shark Cards are a billion-dollar ecosystem, proof that the first hit doesn't have to be free, just faster. And for the eye-watering finale, remember the MMO shooter First Descendant. Buy a premium outfit, then pay again for each color channel. Want matching teal on helmet and boots? That's 2 transactions. Splat a third on the shoulders? Cha-ching! Even real-world tailors don't charge per thread. By now you might wonder, can the community ever actually win? Believe it or not, sometimes the heroes triumph.
Number 6. Player revolts and rare victories.
When Riot's Sanctum outrage peaked, the studio dialed back splash screens and teased fairer odds in future events. Small, but momentum in the right direction. Arrowhead's transparency after the Helldivers 2 Warbond uproar turned anger into dialogue.
The devs slowed releases, pledged deeper free updates, and even granted super credits to compensate early buyers. It didn't erase the sting, but it showed listening beats stonewalling. Unity's retreat proved noise matters. Thousands of indies threatening to jump engines forced a multi-billion-dollar company to yank its plan in under 10 days, culminating in a leadership shakeup few pundits saw coming. When Disney's Speedstorm paywalled progression, Steam reviews plunged to overwhelmingly negative overnight. Within a patch or two, some grind options crept back, and event rewards grew more generous. It's still a kart racer hawking battle passes, but at least the brakes aren't chained to your wallet. And back in 2024, Warframe players revolted against a Prime Access price hike. Digital Extremes apologized and reverted within 48 hours. Proof that free-to-play can remain fair when the studio values its veterans. Each win is a checkpoint in the larger campaign. Publishers test the line, communities push back, and the battlefield shifts inch by inch. Which brings us home. Horse Armor was a punchline in 2006. By 2025, we've seen $50,000 ship bundles, $100,000 character builds, and price tags that climb faster than any player's skill tree. Yet, every time greed mutates, resistance evolves too. Social media exposes stealth patches, refund floods hit storefronts, and CEOs learn brand loyalty can't be mined like cryptocurrency.
So, next time a game offers premium convenience, ask convenience for whom? Because every dollar spent on a digital hockey mask echoes in boardrooms where someone's already sketching the next upsell. Speak loudly, refund proudly, and remember, the final boss isn't on the screen. It's the invisible hand reaching for your pockets. Now tell me which cash grab shocked you the most, and how would you rewrite the rules? Drop your story below, no microtransaction required.